Hello everybody, just wanted to do a quick video regarding a town called Sevilletown in Britain. Okay, this town was all British at one point, and now because of the refugees, there's 4,000 refugees and 48 basically white British people, or British people, whatever color, British natives, and this is the sign of what's happening and what's going to happen here, okay? They have totally thrashed the EU. Germany, France, Sweden, all those little countries have been invaded by these people and taken over by these people, so they can see it's not working. So why are they still pushing it here? The state shut them down when Trump was elected, okay? And we can do the same thing by electing Bernie, but the problem is, too many people are worried about splitting votes and all this other bullshit. It's not about splitting votes. It's about voting in who's right. And Bernie is the only one who's right, okay? The rest of them are all globalists, I'm telling you that. So watch this little clip on Sevilletown.
A YouTube video that was tweeted out. I'm just going to show you about a minute of it. So this is an English town is completely Islamicized. And I thought, wow, that's crazy.
Places in Yorkshire, the town was very industrial. While other places were known for coal mining or steel making, Sevilletown was known for wool and cotton mills. There was a working class community of English men and women, working their hands to the bone to not only provide for their families, but also for the benefit of the wider society. England back then had a sense of itself, an identity. Everyone knew what England stood for and what an English person was. Now, this historic place is completely Islamized, and when I say completely, I'm not being hyperbolic, I mean it. In the 2011 census, only 48 people out of 4,033 residents were white British. I'm sure that number will be even lower today, and I can't wait to see the 2021 census. The rest of the residents are Muslims. Before we take a closer look, I have a question for any liberals or multiculturalists who may just happen to be watching. I doubt it, but it could happen. Is this your idea of diversity? Is this a step in the right direction? Would you be happy to see the entirety of the UK become like Sevilletown in Yorkshire? I honestly want to know, and please try and answer that question as honestly as you can. Because the things that you fight for, the politics you promote, will only lead to this. Think about it.
We go from an industrial mill town in the 50s, 60s, to 2010 census, 48 out of 4,000 people living in the town are Muslim immigrants. Think about that. What's happening? Is this the intent? Is this where we want our nation to go? Because it seems like if we're not a Christian nation, then we have the choice of being an Islamic nation, but I don't think we have the choice of being an atheist nation. I don't think we get that. I don't think we get to be a post-religion nation. And the reason for that is there are very influential religions that won't allow that vacuum to exist, because there isn't a powerful atheistic voice guiding the way morally, or not something that people can rally behind and say, yes, those tenets we can all agree with. And that's not happening, right? What's happening is fracture. What's happening is the teardown of the Christian God in the West.
Accounts show that on top of imposing a carbon tax on Canadians, the Prime Minister has spent at least $50 million of their hard-earned cash on hotel rooms for people who have illegally entered Canada and who are abusing our humanitarian immigration system. When so many Canadians are struggling to make ends meet, the Prime Minister should admit how wrong this is. Why is the Prime Minister putting illegal border crossers up at the Hilton while increasing taxes on struggling Canadians?
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary for Border Security.
The reality is that that government did nothing for 10 years to ensure our security as Canadians along the border. In reality, they cut, Mr. Speaker, $400 million from our border security. We are taking action, Mr. Speaker, with $180 million in investment that will ensure that we have the resources in place to keep our border secure while also providing support to our municipalities who have asked for it, Mr. Speaker. That's what Canadians expect from us, and that is exactly what we're going to continue to do.
So he's saying that, back to blaming the Harper government, saying that they cut 400 million and we're using 180 million to send to municipalities. So that means we're not using it for border security. We're using it to cover the costs of putting these people up in hotels in municipalities that are screaming, we don't want any more immigrants or refugees or pretend refugees, because this is insanity. Because it is insanity. Because this is not a plan. And this situation didn't happen under the Harper government. So kicking the can back to Harper, and saying, you guys cut, so this is why we're here. No, the reason we're here is because Justin Trudeau tweeted out a stupid tweet that invited the world and said we'd, I don't know, protect them and welcome them. It was all to make Donald Trump look bad. And it made Donald Trump, I mean, for a second, the newspapers reported it that way, but it didn't. It didn't stick to him because Trump, nothing sticks to him. But on the other side, it made Trudeau look like a complete idiot who doesn't know how to control his border. It's simple. And these NPC people are not using their brains. They need to cross the floor. The only mechanism we have in Canada to defect for a government that's not working for the people is having the MPs cross the floor. If enough MPs cross the floor, then Mr. Scheer would be in charge. You can also have a vote of non-confidence, but the vote of non-confidence is going to go party lines and it's going to fail, right? Which is why nobody's introduced it. But if pressure is put on the MPs to cross the floor, that's how you recall a sitting prime minister. That's the only way, right? Especially, well, with a majority, right? A minority, you can the government can fall if the confidence is lost in the House. And with a minority, that's more possible, right? Like if you've got one party propping up another party, and then they say, hold on, you can't do that. We're going to call an election because the Canadian people should have a say. Well, all of this stuff, we should have a say, especially on the compact in December, which will increase this problem quite a lot, because the people coming in under the compact will have voting rights under international citizenship or something silly to that effect. And there are a lot of people writing about that. It's the reason why a whole bunch of countries are stepping out of the international compact on regular migration, because it removes your sovereignty. It removes your ability to control your borders in a real way. So it's incredible that there isn't more outrage about this.
So basically, this is what they plan on doing here, town by town, city by city. Right now they're doing it to Toronto, and within a number of years, Toronto will be completely Muslim. And you'll hear all that horrid music on the streets, and you'll see all their dirt and filth everywhere, and women walking around looking like garbage bags. I'm sorry, but that's how I see it. You know, when I see those people, I think, oh, a couple of garbage bags taking their kids out for a walk. How nice. Well, think about it. They're going to ask me to wear a burqa? Like, fuck you. Not going to happen. Not a jeep or anything else. I'll buy fucking guns. I don't give a shit. These people are not telling me what to fucking do. And I know a lot of women feel the same way, and a lot of men who feel the same way. But if you don't fight this, if we don't try and fight this now, and bear the bad language of being called racist and all, white supremacists and all this other crap, which is foolish, because we have black people, we have Asian people, we have India people from India, we have Native Indians, we have all different colors and all different nationalities here, so they can't call us racist, okay? That's like when a black cop shoots a black guy in the States and everyone's yelling racism until they find out it's a black cop that shot him, okay? Then they have other names for him. So basically, no, it's all head games to try and quell you from thinking for yourself and for being proud and standing up for your country, right? So, no, and this is basically where they're headed here. Why? If they know it's not working everywhere else, why are they pushing it here? It's a world domination thing, okay? The globalists, the world financial elites, have decided this is our fate, and they're forcing it. And unless we stand up to it, our government's going to hand our country over to them. Okay? And this is where it's at. Google people like Rothschild, Soros, I don't know, Buffett. There's a ton of them, and they're all globalists, and they all want this destruction of freedom. People who aren't free are easier to control, right? People who are divided, people who are broke and poor are easy to control. And that's what it boils down to. So we need to fight it. We need to stand up to it and say no, but we need to do it en masse. We can't just have a couple of people stand up and say no. It's not going to work. So this is where we go. Get people woke. Wake people up. Show them proof. Show them facts. They can't argue with it. And if they start calling you names, give up on them because they're fucktards, okay? Douchebags, fucktards, and libtards, basically. Anyone who doesn't have any talking points, who will start calling you names just because you do have talking points, they're libtards. They're basically idiots. It's almost like the insane asylum's being run by the fucking patients, okay? And this is what Canada's like right now, and this is how I see things. And I don't want that. I don't want that for my country. And I know I don't stand alone. I know I have most of my subscribers on here feel the same way, or they wouldn't be subscribed to my channel, right? So basically, we need to wake more people up. We need to get petitions out there. See, petitions don't really have teeth in regards to make change, but they can draw out basically the framework for change. If, say, Trudeau gets a whole bunch of different petitions that add up to like 30, 40 million people saying they don't want this, he can't really do it, okay? And basically what people need to start doing is phoning your MPs, phoning your MPPs, phone the federal government if you have to, or write Ottawa to email them, whatever. If they're getting millions of emails saying no, they'll back off. They always do. But if you don't argue and you don't say anything, then they figure you're all for it. And I'm not all for it. And so this is what I'm doing. I'm, using my video platform to get people woke. It's not easy. There's a lot of people who don't want to wake up. And, either because they're afraid or because they're mad that we're standing up to their idiotic ideologies. And that we're not okay with our heritage and our way of life being destroyed by a bunch of political Islamic fucking douchebags, okay? And look, personally, like I said, there's been Muslims here all along, and a lot of them left their countries to escape that regime too, okay? So it's not about that. It's about the political fucking wing, the political Islamic wing that are forcing themselves with full help from the UN and all the elitists, basically. Like I say, the Rothschilds and Soros and all them are forcing this on us. And if we don't stand up to them, I mean, look, Trump himself, one man stood up to them, made changes, and now they have a lot less control in the U.S., okay? But they have full control here because we have a femmy little douchebag going, "Oh, I love you, Islam!" And he's handing our country over to them. So this is not good. We need to stand up to it. And this is what I keep telling you. And I know you're probably going to think I sound like a broken record, but this is the main ingredient to change, is numbers, masses, okay? And the more we wake, the better it is. We have a year to wake up enough people to get Bernier in and to get the people who haven't been voting to vote for Bernier, obviously. But it's like if we don't, we're going to end up like Seville town, okay? We're going to end up like UK. We're going to end up like France and Germany and fucking Sweden. And basically, once it's there, it's too late to make change. I mean, yeah, you can start kicking them out of the country, and then they're going to start doing heavy terrorist acts. And before you get them all out, your country will be destroyed. Trust me. They're like cockroaches. They're getting into the fucking walls of your country, okay? And they infest, and they mass multiply. I mean, look at these douchebags. They come over here with 6 wives and 42 kids. You know how much they're making every year, every month on welfare and fucking through child benefits and all this kind of crap? I don't even want to think about it because it pisses me off, okay? But this is all things we need to do to fight this, okay? And I can't stress enough that waking more people up is the key. And like I said, if the government doesn't have enough people standing up to it, it'll just say, well, this little amount of people aren't okay with it, but the rest of Canada is, right? This is not diversity. This is adversity. This is destruction of our way of life and our culture. I mean, wake up, Canada, right? And I don't know. I just see so much fucked up stuff going on right now. And I think that's all by design, to keep everyone bickering and fighting so we don't get together to stand up against them, okay? Things aren't bad yet, but they're going to get bad fast, especially for Toronto right now. They're done for, okay? Totally done for. And they have no hope, because you got a globalist in as a mayor, and you allowed him to manipulate the votes. You have not stood up and say we want a recount. You have not stood up and said this election was fixed and explained why it was fixed. Then you bought, you got what you bought. And I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel bad for you. I'm watching to see if my prediction comes to fruition, that within 2 years you will be in such peril that you will be begging the government to do something. And you know what they'll do? They'll ship more brown people in. Yeah, more Islamic assholes into Toronto. They'll double it. They'll triple it. Fuck you people. How dare you say no, right? That's how the government thinks. So you have to say, no, fuck you. How dare you fuck with our culture and fuck with our way of life. And if you don't say that, then they're going to douchebag the whole country, just like they're doing to Toronto and other cities too. So anyway, folks, I just wanted to do these couple of quick videos because this is an important thing. This is, so many people don't realize the magnitude of what's happening right now. We're being invaded, okay? And I don't mean that in a racist way. I mean that in a Canadian way. These people have no intent of assimilation, okay? They have intent of changing our way of life to their way of life, which is women wearing garbage bags and little children wearing garbage bags, men being more valued than females, and basically full control. And I'm not okay with that. And I will, like I said, I will do whatever I have to do whenever the time comes to say no to it. But right now I think we're better off to use the internet to our advantage while we still have it, because pretty soon they'll have control of that too. And then you won't even be able to make videos like this. So we need to use this internet in the next year to get Bernier in. We need our country back. And there's no other candidate who wants to give us that but Bernier, okay? I know a lot of you agree. I see a lot of comments with Bernier 2019 and, get Trudeau out and Bernier in, and we're totally right. Is he perfect? No. But who is? Show me one perfect politician and I'll show you a liar. Okay? Serious. So anyway, I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers, all my viewers, and all the new subscribers especially. Thank you for joining. And I hope you enjoy my channel and my videos. I've got my series for the veterans starting on November 1st. I'm just doing a lot of legwork on that. That's why I haven't put out many videos in the last few days. I'm doing a lot of research and downloading videos to make my points. Basically, it's a lot of, when it comes to veterans being thrown on the street, a lot of people don't want to face that. They don't want to hear it. It's almost like dirty words to them, but it's happening, so we have to talk about it, and we have to drag it out and bring it up, okay? Now, not just mean veterans. I mean, people are being thrown out of shelters and on the streets for these fake immigrants, okay? And so it's not just the veterans, but in my eyes, those veterans went and fought, or whether they fought or not, they went overseas to protect, with the intention of protecting this country, and in my eyes, they're heroes, okay? And they should be treated good when they get back here, not shit on, pissed on, and thrown in the streets, okay? I have a real soft spot for them myself, because I've always had a great respect for them and what they did and what they stand for. And, when I saw what happened to the Vietnam vets when they came back, being spit on and called baby killers and all this stuff, we had all these people protested, bring our boys home, bring our boys home. Yeah, what? So you could spit and piss on them and shit on them and call them names? More libtardism, okay? That's all the whole fucking The whole bullshit of that was just to stop the war, but then to piss on our soldiers who went there to fight for our freedoms. Or they thought they were fighting for our freedoms. Vietnam, that was a total farce. We should never have been there. But the point is that the soldiers are being treated like shit, and that's not right. Like, they're trained to do what they're told, okay? They don't have a choice. They're trained to do what they're told. And this is all the kind of stuff I want to bring up in my videos. We rely on them to guard us, to guard our country, and to fight for our country. So how can we spit on them, like, for doing so? Like, it's almost like a teacher punishing you for passing a test. And, you know, a doctor punishing you for being healthy. Like, it's silliness. But anyway, that's why I want to bring these videos out. I really, before November 11th, I'm doing a really, really nice video on November 11th, a tribute. And before then, I want to bring up the dirt. I want to bring up what the government's doing to our vets, and what the people are doing to our vets, too. I personally know a ton of people who stand by our vets, as I do, and we're not being heard. So the only way to be heard is through video, and that's why I'm doing these videos. It's a tribute to all vets, living and dead. And, you know, I love y'all, and like I said, I have the most respect for you, and I want to help to end veteran homelessness, I don't want you to think I meant veterinarians. I want to end veteran homelessness because they should not have to go through that. And I don't know, I think a lot of people feel the same way. But anyway, have a great day, and we'll chat soon.